make sure I'm on there. So today we're talking about the difference between guides and angels. A little bit different, and also I'll throw in a spirit as well, because a lot of people mistake their angels for spirit guides and family spirit. So we'll start there. We'll start there with family members who are in spirit. Um, you know, grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, family that is passed. Oftentimes they come back as guides for us and protectors for us, and they're there with us to guide us along on our path, remind us of things, and just to comfort us often, most of the time. So that's a little bit different. So that's one angle there. So it's a little bit different than a regular guide, spirit guide, that is assigned to us when we come into this life, because they volunteer. Oftentimes they have been family in previous lives. So with our guides and with our spirit family who become guides, I know it's a little confusing, they have all lived a human experience. So they understand how life is and the problems that we face, and the chaos and the craziness and the ups and downs and the emotions and all that fun stuff. So they're aware. They've had experience as humans, so they can help us and work through. So our guides who aren't family in this life, or recently passed, or however you want to look at it. I try to make this as simple as possible to make it easier to understand. You can always send me questions and I can be more specific. And maybe in the future, and in the classes and things, we'll go into a little more detail. But in the basic overview, so our guides that have chosen to work with us in this life, we have many. Some people feel we have a specific guide that's with us, holding our hand through our whole life, like a guardian angel, which we'll get into that as well. But everybody's different, and at different periods in our lives, we have different guides that are with us. Similar to angels, I don't want to throw you off, but similar to angels, that there are event-specific guides, so specialists, if you will. Similar with certain angels, there are event-specific or priority-specific ones, specialists, and who know. So these guides that come in, either they were, say you're ill, you have an illness, for example. So you will have a guide with you who will guide you through your recovery, or through making yourself well, or strengthening your immune system, that kind of thing. And oftentimes that guide may have been a doctor in a previous life, or a nutritionist, or a medicine woman, or a shaman, or something of that nature. So they are a specialist, and they know and understand that was either their profession or it's what they know. So they help us and guide us to the right doctor sometimes, who will know. Guide us to the right specialist, to the right counselor, to the right foods, vitamins, and the like. So that's kind of the way the guides work. Now, stepping up to our angelic guides. Now, spirit guides and angels they have similar work for us. They do similar work for us, similar activities and such, but they're, for lack of a better way to put it, they're a completely different species. Whereas our spirit family and our spirit guides, they have been human before. Angels have never existed on the earth as a human. They, oftentimes you hear the stories of someone who's stranded on the side of the road, and someone appears basically out of nowhere and helps them change the tire, or fixes the flat, or whatever, and then they turn around and that person's gone. So most of the time, and most people believe that those were angels that came in. Now, very often, angels will come in and take on human form to accomplish a task, or to help us accomplish a task, but they're not human. Okay? If that kind of makes sense. They will appear to us as such, but to make it more comfortable for us, and so that we can understand and comprehend them. Because if they're yelling at us and giving us information and we're not hearing them, or we're not listening, then they will appear to us 3D, so that we get it, or so that they can help us in a different way. But they have never technically lived as humans. through the whole process. There are, to get sidetracked a little bit, what they call walk-ins or step-ins. So sometimes they will step into a human who is here and sort of channeling through them, if you will, and carry out a task or something, either for the person who they walked into or for someone that they know, so that they can help. So getting off that track again. So our angels come with us in this life. You know, they're chosen. They choose to work with us. We have our own, but also there are angels that will help many people. We all come in with at least one guardian angel, which is the main one. Some people believe there are two or more. What I have seen with everyone, there's at least one that's always directly above and sort of at an angle, like above the person and behind a little bit, sort of floating, if you will, and looking over and overseeing everything. It's like they're kind of like the other angel. They wrangle the other angels that work with us, because we will have thousands, if not tens of thousands of angels with us in our lifetime, and it just, again, event specific or situation specific. They come in for certain things. It's as simple as one coming in if you're having a major math test when you're in school that you're really nervous about, and one will come in to help you with that, either to calm you down or to help you through it. So a math expert might come in and help you. And if it's just that one time, that's all you need them. But others come and go. I like to say they trade off or they rotate sometimes, because I've seen some people who have several that seem to be with them quite often or all the time, but maybe two will be in front and then two or three in the back, and then in a couple hours, even just in time that we're sitting doing a session, they can move around and trade positions and have sorry about that, and have a different angle on the person and protecting them in a different way. So it's a little bit different that way. So different times of our life, whether it's different ages, different events, different emotional periods in our lives. So there are definitely puberty angels. So kids around a certain time have a different group of angels that move in to help them control that and deal with it, handle it a little better. And then we'll go in. I'll throw this out too, because this is very important. Angels, again, they're everywhere. They're all around us, and they love to help us. They live to help us. That's their purpose. That's why they're here. But the only thing is, we have to ask. And if we don't ask them, then they're just flailing around, going and twiddling their thumbs, like, give us something to do, please. They're just that's what they want to do, and it's a pleasure to them. It's exciting for them. So because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I've got too many troubles. I don't want to bother and burden the angels, whatever." That's what they want. That's what they need. That's why they exist. They are. The term angel actually means messenger. So what they are is they're messengers for God. And I had an issue with a family member at one point when I was considering buying an angel store, and love her dearly, but she was like, "Oh, you have to be careful with those angels. You don't be worshiping angels. You worship God." And bless her heart, it's like I understood where she was coming from, but it's really not. When we pray, we go straight to source. So we pray to God, and God hears our messages, but then the angels do the duty, do the work to help us, because they're down on a different plane of existence, for lack of a better way to put it. So it's not that God has too much to do, because God is everywhere. God is in all of us. God is in everything. So, and in the angels. The angels are just little balls of light that are parts of God. Which brings me back to this as well, is that angels are not masculine or not male or female, but they're masculine and feminine. They're just energy. I mean, technically humans are just energy as well, but we take on a masculine or a feminine energy and appearance. for this existence. So with the angels, they have a specific energy and personality that comes across as either masculine or feminine, and then they appear to us as male or female because it's easier for our human brain to comprehend and understand. So with that, it kind of helps too. It's like it helps us understand and relate to life in general and dealing with certain things. So if a more masculine, a more powerful, heroic type angel comes in, and Archangel Michael comes to mind, and he's got the warrior energy. So sometimes he'll come in when we need that extra strength, and that's why he's the patron saint of police officers and firemen and soldiers and military, because it's that warrior energy and that strong, protective, commanding presence. So he helps with that. So when I see the different gender of angels with people, oftentimes it's because they're going through something. Either they need more masculine energy for strength or protection, or if they have more feminine angels with them, it either tells me that they're very soft and feminine and gentle and nurturing, or they need that balance, or they're putting out too much masculine energy themselves and they need the balance. So if I see, say, 5 angels with someone and 4 of them are feminine and 1 is masculine, more than likely they need a little extra softening and calming down. So because they're pushing themselves too hard, they're trying to be something that they're not, and it's bringing them back out. Or they need nurturing energy. However, I've seen angels that are very feminine but have a very masculine energy, and vice versa. Masculine angels that appear as male, but they have a very soft, nurturing energy. So it just varies. Again, they have personalities just like we do. It's just they have a different purpose and a different work. And like I said, they're a different species, actually. So working with the angels is a wonderful thing, and there are so many with us. I mean, we have our guides too that do a lot, but they're here to help us more with the human experience, experiences that they've had to share and guide us through those situations, and because they know. Whereas the angels, they understand the human being. However, they haven't, just because they haven't lived as us, they understand it because they oversee it. So they've seen it, they know and they know our purpose. The other great thing with working with the angel guides is that they help us get back in touch to our soul purpose. Remembering that we're not just here for this human experience, but we're also, what I feel is one of the goals in this human existence is remembering our spirit connection, remembering our God source connection and why we are here, and kind of integrating the two and letting our spiritual side come out in this human existence and making life better. If you saw the Godspark video, which I will probably redo, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like when you have that connection, when you have that understanding of who we truly are and what we truly are and our purpose here, makes everything easier. Seriously, colors are brighter because we see deeper and we experience deeper and we feel on a deeper level. So it's a very powerful and rewarding experience to work with the angels and to feel that energy and that presence. If for nothing else, to know that we're never alone and we're always protected and we always have backup, basically. So anytime you need them, you can call on them. You know, people start out with the basics just to know that they're there. And some people have issues with this because they think it's kind of menial or disrespectful. But, you know, the angels are happy to help in any way possible. So if you're just asking for a parking space, you want a good parking space when you go to the store. Or here in Arizona, it's hot, so you want a parking space under a tree in some shade. You know, you ask for that before you get there or as you're pulling into the parking lot, and before you know it, right there's one right there. Or even close, if you want a close one, if you want a shady one, however. And that's just their way of telling you they are there. That's proof, right? So when you start out with the little basic things like that, or like when you're driving down the street and traffic is bad, it's like, okay, please, angels, let a lane clear so I can just get past these slow people. And next thing you know, someone's turning, and there you go. So if you start out that way to build your trust and belief, then you'll start seeing more and more examples, and it'll be even easier. I mean, you can ask them for anything. Another thing, some people have issue with that because they think, well, we still have our responsibilities in this life and our work to do, and we do. However, it doesn't hurt to ask for help. You know, even if it's just a little bit, it's like, hey, just give me a pat on the back. Because sometimes that little bit of encouragement, knowing that someone's rooting for you, really makes a difference. And it makes our choices easier, and it makes our work and our hard times easier as well. Which brings up the next question. Is that, you know, a lot of people ask if angels are here to help us, why do bad things happen? Why did this happen? Why did I fall down? Why did I wreck my car? Why did I not get this? Why did I get that? Why did this person do this? And on and on and on. Hello, we still have free will. So we still have a lot of responsibility here as well. They're here to help. It's like if we ask them to protect us and then we run out in traffic and we get hit, I think it's kind of our fault, right? So you got to remember we still have responsibility. We are ultimately the responsible ones. They are here to help and to guide us and to protect and to teach us as well. And again, once you make that connection and you feel it in your soul and you feel you really can feel the difference in just being human and being the soul being that we are in this human body. Okay? It's learning to balance that, but as soon as you feel it, it's like the old saying, you can't unring the bell, because once you know it, once you feel it and experience it, there's no going back. Because one, it feels too good, and two, it's like you see how much easier things are, and it just makes sense. So working with that and bringing that in, it changes everything. And when you get used to asking for help, it gets easier. And also, don't forget to say thank you. They do appreciate that. They're happy to do it no matter what, but they do like the gratitude, as we all do. I mean, because if you think about them as any other person or yourself, you know what you like and how you like to be treated, so it's the same thing. I mean, they're still going to do their work for you no matter what, but it's just a little bonus for them, and they really enjoy it. So with that's just a little basic. And if you have more questions about it, and again, more specifics will come up in class, and we may do another video on more specifics. And actually, we will be doing that going into the angels and the different guardian angels, or not guardian angels, I'm sorry, the archangels, and their purpose, their job, their meaning. We'll do some color work. We will talk about auras. And if there's any other topics that you would be interested in getting a tutorial on, a video, or an audio, or taking a class on, let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. I like to know what people are interested in, so I can focus more on specific things, because I want to offer what people want. Because this is a day and age where we need to know more, and we need to connect, and we need to come back to who we are and what's going on here. So let me know. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you.